Hey everyone, my name is Corey with the Techies, and today we're going to be looking at some very simple Photoshop editing. So a lot of people have images that they've taken either with a DSLR or a regular point and shoot, and they throw a lot of images away because initially it doesn't look good. But you can actually do some very simple Photoshop tweaks on an image, and it'll come out great. So I'm going to take an image here. We're going to go over some just basic concepts. I'm going to take an image and drag it into Photoshop here. This is a picture of a flower that is honestly fine just the way it is. The way it came out honestly the way I wanted it to. It was an accident, but you can see the kind of vignette in the background here. The color is very nice. The brightness is good. It's honestly a fine picture. But if it's not a fine picture, some simple things you could do. The first thing would be to change the histogram stuff. So the histogram in Photoshop and in photo editing is just basically a layout of where the blacks and white are. So it's just a distribution of color, basically. Um, so in CS6, you actually have your adjustment stuff over here on the right, right above the layers. If not, you can go under image and adjustments to get that. So something that we could do very simply is to just mess with the levels a bit. So again, the levels shows a histogram of color, but this is basically where it's a grayscale here of color, and it shows where the greatest distribution of grays are. So generally, good practice is you see at the end here, it kind of trails off a bit. So a good practice is to just get rid of that. So if we get rid of that, bumping it from the right will actually brighten the image, and bumping it from the left will darken the image. So in my case, if I had to edit this photo, something that I would want to change is the darkness. I think it's just a tad too bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left over here and just drag it over. So as you can see, the image is already getting a little bit darker. The ground here is it's bumped a little bit. The color in the flower looks really, really nice. So again, this was the before, and this is the after. And it's very simple. You can go as extreme as you want. Like this is almost like a night shot, almost, pretty much. But I don't want that. I kind of want just a little bit darker. So when we apply that, it actually adds a layer here. So if you want to turn that off, you can turn that off. If you would turn that back on to see before and after shots. So something that we'll notice immediately is this petal over here, you'll start to see the like grain in it a little bit more. So the blues in the flower actually get bumped up a little bit. So again, that's a very simple adjustment that you can do. The other thing is a lot of times new photographers will not get the white balance, excuse me, the white balance correct. And something very simple that they can do is actually just play with the color balance. So again, it's underneath this adjustment panel over here. If not, again, it's under image adjustments, and you can go, levels is here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be messing with the color balance. So if we click on color balance, this is just a little bit like color correction. Basically, what kind of tone do we want this image to be? So I was going for a darker look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bump the blues up a little bit, and maybe the greens. No, actually, let's turn down the green. Oh, it's a little bit purpley. I want to preserve the color of the ground. I would imagine the dirt's kind of brown, so what I'm going to do, that's looking too green, so bump that down, bump the blues a little bit. So I just want to add a slight blue tint to it. And again, it'll add a new layer here, so if you want to turn that on and off, you can see the difference there. It adds a little bit more vibrance to the image. So if we turn everything off, that was our original image, turn everything back on, that's what it looks edited. So in my opinion, again, this is an image that doesn't need it, but if you want to, it's always fun to mess with this stuff. And these are really two simple tools, the histogram, which is known as levels, and the color balance, kind of like a color correction. Two simple tools that you can use to make an image much better. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Corey from the Techies. See you next time.